Tell me something. Have you ever met someone who seemed incredible at first? Friendly, trustworthy, maybe even inspiring. Then one day, something changed. Not because of what they did, but because of something they said. A tiny word. A word so ordinary that most people never notice it. But psychologists have discovered something fascinating. The words people repeat most often can reveal how they think, how they see the world, and sometimes who they really are. Today, I'm going to show you 5 everyday words that quietly expose someone's character. And the 5th one, most people completely miss it, yet it might reveal more than all the others combined. Once you hear these words, you'll never listen to conversations the same way again. Welcome back to Rivanz Media, where we explore psychology, human behavior, and the hidden patterns that shape everyday life. Today, we are looking at something surprisingly powerful. Not body language, not facial expressions, just words. 5 small words that can tell you more about a person than they realize they're revealing. Let's begin. The first word, they, the blame word. Imagine asking someone why a relationship failed, or why they lost a job, or why things didn't work out, and every answer starts the same way. They didn't support me. They were against me. They ruined everything. Notice the pattern. It's always they. Now sometimes other people really are the problem. But when every story has the same villain, that's when it becomes revealing. Psychologists call this an external locus of control, a tendency to believe that other people control your outcomes. The biggest clue isn't that they use the word, it's how often they use it. Because eventually you realize something. If everyone in their stories is the problem, what's the one thing all those stories have in common? Them. And that's worth paying attention to. The second word, actually, the hidden ranking system. This next word sounds harmless. You probably hear it every day. You're actually really good at that. That was actually smart. I actually enjoyed that. Sounds like a compliment, right? But listen carefully. The word actually reveals something hidden. It tells you the speaker expected the opposite. When someone says, "You're actually good at this," what they're secretly saying is, "I didn't expect you to be." Most people don't even realize they're doing it. But the word exposes an assumption that already existed in their mind. A quiet ranking system, an expectation, a judgment. And once you start noticing it, you'll hear it everywhere. The third word, fine. The most misunderstood word. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous words in any relationship. Fine. Not the obvious version, not the dramatic. I'm fine. Everyone knows that one. I'm talking about, that's fine. We can do that. Fine. Whatever. Fine. Here's what makes this word so interesting. There are 2 completely different types of fine. One person genuinely means it. They are flexible, easygoing, emotionally secure. But the other person, they're not fine at all. They're simply postponing the conflict. And here's how you tell the difference. Wait, a few hours, a few days, maybe a few weeks. Does the issue disappear, or does it come back later? Because fake fine has a habit of returning with interest. The 4th word, always and never. The black and white thinker. Listen closely to people during arguments. You always do this. You never listen. This always happens. Things never work out. Notice anything? No gray area, no middle ground, just extremes. Psychologists call this all or nothing thinking. A mental shortcut where reality gets divided into 2 categories: perfect or terrible, good or bad, success or failure. People who constantly use always and never often struggle with nuance. And that's important, because relationships depend on nuance. Growth depends on nuance. Forgiveness depends on nuance. If someone sees everything in absolutes, changing their mind becomes incredibly difficult. The 5th word, just. The word that reveals more than you think. Now for the word most people overlook. The word is just. I just wanted to ask. I was just wondering. It's just an idea. At first glance, it seems insignificant, but it's doing something powerful. It's shrinking the speaker before they've even spoken. It's making the message smaller, safer, less demanding. And here's the surprising part. People who frequently use just are often some of the most thoughtful people you'll ever meet. They don't want to interrupt. They don't want to burden anyone. They don't want to seem demanding. Somewhere along the way, they learn to minimize themselves. So every sentence begins with an apology they never actually say. And once you notice it, you start hearing it everywhere. Maybe even in yourself. So let's recap. They. Actually. Fine. Always. Never. And just. 5 ordinary words. 5 tiny clues. 5 windows into the human mind. But here's the important part. None of these words define a person. One word isn't a verdict. What matters is the pattern, the repetition, the emotional meaning behind it. Because understanding people isn't about judging them. It's about seeing them more clearly. And the better you understand people, the better you understand yourself. Now I want to ask you something. Think about someone in your life. A friend, a co-worker, a family member. Which of these words do they use the most? Tell me in the comments. Just the word, nothing else. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Rivanz Media, because next time we're diving into more amazing topic. Trust me, you won't want to miss that one.